So Eduardo is founder of EBZ Training. Hi, Eduardo. How are you?
I'm good. Excited to be here.
Great. So Eduardo is actually going to be on the Level Up area, which again, if you're an online viewer, you can't see. So even more reason to come next year. And you're going to do, well, we've already got it up on stage, Leadership in the Digital Age. But can you tell us a bit more about what you do, what your company's all about?
Well, the long story short is I train people to communicate better. Too many times we look at others and we look for new ways of working together, new ways of leading people in difficult conditions, but everything is really much focused on finding out a new model, a new blueprint that somehow we can apply. I take a radically different approach. I train people to objectively perceive what's around them, use that as data, and use it to figure out a solution or figure out a better way to work at that moment with others. And the difficult part is the way to train this, because it's not going to be theoretical, it's all going to be practical, and it's all going to be directly, well, you're going to have to deal with other people face to face, which is not something that a lot of people want to do, but it works.
And how long have you been doing these training sessions for?
Well, I've been doing this for about 3 years. Beforehand, I used to work as a project manager for the European Commission or consulting the European Commission. And while I was doing this, I've been doing that for 7 years, I started doing improvised comedy, which on the surface exactly has absolutely nothing to do with work. However, you can look at a team of improvisers as a group of people who just want to have fun, or you can look at them as a group of people that need to work together to develop a product, which is the show, that the client, which is the audience, will like, is willing to pay for, and they have to do it within 10 seconds and in front of the client themselves. Otherwise, the client gets lost. So if that's the case, and if good improvisers manage to do that every time, then it also means that you can take some of the ways they use to train and work and transfer them to a professional setting. And that's pretty much what I do.
That's really interesting. And so what are you going to show us today? Because you can't show us all that. You do 1 day, 2 day workshops in your everyday life. So today we've only got a half an hour slot. So what do we get to see? What little tips do we get?
You get to see what the connection is between digital and what I do. Digital is basically change. When it comes to how people work, it means that we're going to be surrounded by a high level of change, very frequent, very disruptive, and that's going to put us in an uncertain situation. So usually we perceive uncertainty as danger. So that's the behavior we need to look at, because people in an uncertain condition tend to just go back into their shell and defend themselves and not want to cooperate with others. But if you take a few concepts of how improvisers work, and you cannot take them one-to-one because it's a different thing, but if you adapt them to work in a professional setting, then you can generate a behavior that assimilates to 2 types of leadership, which is servant and shared leadership, which have been proven to create a strong enough safety net to withstand change.
That sounds amazing. And are you going to get our delegates up and working? Is it going to be interactive?
I would wish to do it. I'm not sure how that's going to be taken. Usually, if you see all this space, it means that they're going to be looked at. They're going to be possibly embarrassed. I don't know. I'm going to look at the crowd, see what the reaction is, and maybe towards the end I'll ask them if they want to play something with me. But it's all, it all depends. I cannot be teaching about change and not being able to change what I do in the whiff of a second.
Exactly. And I think a few people are already starting to arrive. So you're on in about 10 minutes, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I think I'll leave you to it, so you can get prepared for the last few moments. It was lovely to speak to you. Thank you, Eduardo.
Thank you for having me.
No worries, thank you.